Yes, sir. What's poppin'? It's your boy, the boy, HenriHeck, back at it again with another video. And today I want to talk to you about my first impressions of the First Descendant. We finally got the game in our hands, and it is a beautiful game, wonderful game in UE5. Visual fidelity off the chain. But with that, I also have to touch on the fact that the performance on next gen console PS5 is just not up to par in some areas of the game, especially in Albion, and then in the first area that they drop you off in of the world where you go off to do your various tasks. I mean, it's frame drops are extremely noticeable on the PS5. And I really hope they take the time to address it and get it fixed. And so we ain't gotta deal with frames, because don't nobody want to see that, man. Nobody want to see that. They've got more than enough money, and they have more than enough time to really optimize and make sure everything is where it need to be. So on day one, when you drop and you get people in, you don't really have these issues. We constantly have these issues from these developers when these games come out, and I don't want to get to a place where it's just acceptable, you know what I mean? Because it shouldn't be, because eventually the stuff does get worked out. I would just like to see it get worked out on day one, you know what I mean? Another thing I like to bring up with this game is the weapons. They don't feel as punchy as I would like them to be. The vibration in the DualSense is cool, but the guns themselves, they don't really have that oomph to them. You play a shooter. I'm gonna pull up Destiny. The good buddy Alberthian brought it up. Destiny 2. They do an awesome job of making the player feel that feedback of the gun. The gun feel in this game is amazing, and I would like to see if they can't implement it, fine, okay, but I would like to see them attempt to improve the feel of the gun, make it feel as though you actually, I don't know, it might just be a me thing. Well, that's not true, because somebody else brought it up, but I would just like to see the gun feel translate a lot more feedback, I guess. You know what I mean? Like when I'm shooting and the shots landing, I want it to feel a lot more satisfying than it feels, I should say. But to the gun point, I do like the variety of the weapons. I do like the variety of mods you can put on the weapon and kind of customize it to fit your play style, to fit the descendants you're using. They got a great amount of mods to use, and you can also upgrade the mods themselves. So if you got one particular mod you like to use, you can just upgrade that joint and keep it. I think that's a cool thing, because in these games we'll get attached to a certain weapon, we'll get attached to a certain mod, and because we curated our whole play style around them, it's nice to be able to just continuously bring those things with us as we progress throughout the game. Another point I would like to bring up is the story. I feel like the story is shallow. I feel like the characters themselves are shallow, and I mean, this is pretty early in the game, and of course they're gonna lay out more story as the game progresses, so that could very much change with a DLC expansion or what have you. But I would also like to see what they do as far as giving more background to these characters you're picking, because you're not necessarily picking a character based upon who they are. You're just picking the character based upon the abilities that they are able to use. So I guess it makes sense in a way, but if I was gonna be picking a character based on just abilities, I would rather just create my own character and just choose an archetype. I think that would have been better from my perspective, but I get why they didn't do that, because it's easier to monetize selling the whole character rather than, like, how would we monetize selling the archetype? We just sell the bits and pieces you need, because you can just buy the bits and pieces to create the descendant, rather than just spending the money on resourcing and crafting the whole descendant. And the Descendants themselves, they have a mod system, so you can kind of curate the Descendant to play how you want to play within the realm of the abilities they have. And there are I won't say a ton, but there's a lot of variety in how each in the abilities of how each Descendant, I won't say defendant, each Descendant plays in the game. And I think that's really cool, because even you got the two, you got Ezimo, and you got I actually forget the name of the character, and I'm playing them right now. The Grenader, the first one you get to pick from the title screen, I'm playing him. They're both explosive type characters, but their abilities are different. Like Ezimo, he has a ability, he can sprint, and as he's sprinting, he's like spreading out these kind of spores, and the spores cause explosive damage. You know what I mean? And the Grenader character doesn't have anything like that. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of this character right now. And next, I like the fact that, you know, the missions aren't super long. Like the missions you're doing out in the world, they ain't super long. It's not a super, you know, drawn out commitment. So you can jump in, you can like jump from mission to mission to mission. You can probably do a hot 10 within an hour, 10-15 in an hour. So like if you getting ready to go out on a date night, the wife, she getting ready, she doing them, you know how wives are. They like to take a little time. And you know, as a guy, I go in, bust my shower down, throw my clothes on, you know, hit my teeth, hit my cologne, brush my hair. I'm chilling. I'm good to go. So I can bust down a few missions, a few quests, and collect a little loot while she doing her thing, hair, makeup, you know how they do. You feel what I'm saying? So I do like that. The enemies are, you know, it's the general fodder type enemies you come across in these type of games. You got your regular fodder, you got your elite, and you got your mini bosses. Standard procedure. It is what it is, you know. But these bosses you face off in the void, those are hella fun. You know, it remains to be seen, like upper in the higher levels of facing off against these bosses, how much team play, build composition, and stuff like all that cohesive team based strategy will affect on how successful, how quick you can dispatch these bosses. You know what I mean? I've just not gotten to that level yet. But even at this level where I'm facing off against the entry ones, the Grey Walker, it's still fun. You know, it's a group of y'all, you're facing off against them, you're busting down the weaknesses, you're knocking them out, you getting your rewards, and you can run that joint right on back. You know what I mean? It's a good time, it's cool. This right here is a game where what it does well. You know what I'm saying? You're not picking up the First Descendant to be enthralled in storyline, though I would like the story to be more captivating. You know what I'm saying? I would like the characters to be more captivating. You know, these are just my personal opinions, and where I would like to see them put more into. But again, this is a live service game. You know, from Nexon, they probably put more priority into other things. And you know, it's a looter shooter. Is it fun? Can we make money off of it in the long term? That's probably just how they're looking at it. And so it just remains to see how aggressive they'll get with the microtransactions and how they will, you know, approach in game. There is a roadmap. We'll be getting new Descendants. It seems as though when they drop a new Descendant, they'll drop a new I don't know if they even call it Colossi. There we go. I was about to call them Void bosses, but they'll drop Descendant Colossi. So if that's the strategy moving forward, and dungeons, it's like a mega dungeon going on. I would like to see them like implement, you know, your raids and stuff like that. There's a lot of avenues that can go in. It just I just wanted to point out a few places I feel as though they can make some, you know, improvements as far as your weapon feel, your performance, your this is just a me thing as far as the story and the characters, you know, because as you can't really identify with any of the characters. You pretty much just picking them for the abilities but the abilities they have. I don't want to make this a long drawn out thing. Just want to provide for you my quick impressions on the First Descendant. I will catch y'all in the next one.